Lesson 90. For this review, we will use these ideas. 1. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. Let me realize today that the problem is always some form of grievance that I would cherish. Did I not just say that yesterday? Let me also understand that the solution is always a miracle with which I let the grievance be replaced. Today, I would remember the simplicity of salvation by reinforcing the lesson that there is one problem and one solution. The problem is a grievance. The solution is a miracle. And I invite the solution to come to me through my forgiveness of the grievance and my welcome of the miracle that takes its place. Specific applications of this idea might be in these forms. This presents a problem to me which I would have resolved. The miracle behind this grievance will resolve it for me. The answer to this problem is the miracle that it conceals. 2. Let me recognize my problems have been solved. I seem to have problems only because I am misusing time. I believe that the problem comes first, and time must elapse before it can be worked out. I do not see the problem and the answer as simultaneous in their occurrence. That is because I do not yet realize that God has placed the answer together with the problem, so that they cannot be separated by time. The Holy Spirit will teach me this if I will let Him, and I will understand it is impossible that I could have a problem which has not been solved already. These forms of the idea will be useful for specific applications. I need not wait for this to be resolved. The answer to this problem is already given me if I will accept it. Time cannot separate this problem from its solution. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. Let me recognize my problems have been solved. What do we want? Inner peace, joy, happiness, an easier experience here. Love, abundance, freedom. When do we want it? Right now, yesterday, right now, as fast as we can. The Course says time is a learning device. It's up to us. We can learn through joy or we can learn through pain. We can have all of these lessons or we can take a direct vertical correction. We can be willing and open. I mean, we could really go there. We really could have that miraculous direct correction. And most of the time, there's some stuff we're hung up on, and it's you know, what do they say? Enlightenment's more like this, but it could be this. It could be, but for most of us, it looks more like up and down. 2 steps forward and 1 step back, or 1 step forward and 2 steps back, depending on the lesson. So ultimately, we are safe in the arms and mind of God. We've never left that beautiful universe of all-encompassing love. We are having an experience because we thought the thought. We are taking a detour into fear, into separation. That is what this world is. It is like a dream. But we're here, and there are problems that come at us here in the world of form. And that is just the nature of the world. That is to be expected in a world that was set up, that's foundation is built on separation and everything that is opposite of what is actually real. So, problems. There's going to be problems. And problems come from, problematic thinking, those insane thoughts, which our ego, who has a loud voice here in the world, would tempt us. We don't want to deny the quote-unquote problems that we are faced with, because we are having a human experience. We are divinity having a human experience because we decided to. The key to navigating our human experience is to remember our divinity and be miracle workers within the human experience. So how do we face problems within the human experience as miracle workers without denying that the problem is actually there? Now, you might say, Lindsay, it says, recognize my problems have been solved. Yes, they have. Ultimately, there is a way to access the answer, which is put, it said, with that problem automatically. The level of the problem is here. It's the battleground. It is where the ego's kingdom is, the ego's domain, the level of the problem, the level of battleground, the level of separation, pitting us against each other, competition rather than collaboration, separation rather than unity, fear, guilt rather than love and innocence. That is the level of the worldly problem. That is not where the solution is. The ego's dictate is, seek to find the solution. The solution is withholding love because that person's guilty. That person won't text you back. Withhold love, and that's where you're going to find that salvation, that peace, because they deserve your withhold of love. Wrong. Seek but do not find the solution in that scenario. The solution cannot lie there with the level of problem, with the level of guilt, with the level of separation, on the level of withhold, with thoughts of withhold, because those aren't reality. Those are hallucinations you're having about your brother or about yourself. The Course says salvation, the Holy Spirit, would offer you salvation, light, and understanding, the wisdom, where the solution actually lies. It says the Holy Spirit will teach you this, that the answer is placed together with the problem so they cannot be separated by time. The answer is always returning to the truth of who you are and returning to the truth of who your brother is. Accepting the atonement, accepting it for yourself. And that is here. It's not out there. It's not on the level of the battlefield, the chaos, the confusion, the conflict. It's here, a higher place, the sphere of celestial order, the Course says. But it's here. It's within your mind. It's that place within you where the Holy Spirit is always connected, you to the Father, you to God, where your mind is joined with the mind of God's and can never be unjoined, non-joined, disconnected. But we can forget to return to that place and sync up with it and use that power, that shared power. That is where the solution is. That is the only place the solution is. The Course says that thinking and perceiving and the effect that's produced as a result is simultaneous, that you can't really... What comes first? Perception, thinking, effect, perception, thinking, effect. The law of cause and effect, creation or miscreating, whichever one you're doing, is so instantaneous because all that there ever is now and now and now and now. It's like you can't even understand how fast that happens. And that is why God has a solution the moment the problem occurs. One, because it is that instantaneous. And two, because ultimately there is no problem. Ultimately, here in the world, we are navigating worldly problems. Ultimately, we are safe in the mind of God and dreaming the worldly problems. Once again, we do not deny the worldly problems. We do not say, this isn't happening, it's not real, I'm just going to sit over here and drink my lemonade and, good luck with that. Because the worldly problems will still come at you because of the nature of the world. But it means that as a miracle worker, we understand we can transform the worldly problems by realizing where the solution actually lies and what's really going on. Sometimes within dreams, you realize you're dreaming. And you can, I don't know, can you? I can. You can make choices within the dream that affects the outcome of the dream. Like last night, Taylor Swift and I wrote a song, man. We wrote a song. And I woke up and I remembered the song and I sang it into my phone. Taylor, call me. It's a banger. It's a bop. But in this dream, I must have, you slip in and out of different depths of dreaming. We do that here. When we return to love, when we return to God, when we accept the atonement for ourselves, when we express love, when we remember who our brothers are, when we remember who we are, and see innocence and forgive and express love, work miracles in the world, we are awakened to the truth of who we are. We're not in that deep sleep where we are unconscious anymore. We're at a level of consciousness, at a level of awakening. Within the dream, I must have come out of it a few times, and I remembered that I was dreaming. And I kept telling myself within the dream, you've got to remember this song. When you wake up, you've got to remember this song. So I kept singing it over and over with Taylor in the dream. If this world, if this experience is a dream, then we can remember that we're dreaming. We can remember that there's a true truth, that we're safe and we are experiencing this, but we've still got to go through the motions. And we don't have to go through the motions and experience the problems in a way that induces more pain, induces more suffering by looking for solutions where they don't meet up with where the solution should be. We can go right for the miracle and collapse time. We don't need to keep learning the same lessons over and over again in painful ways. We really don't. We can really make that direct vertical correction as willing and open as we are and as conscious as we can be each time it comes around the problem. Seek for the solution where it has already been solved for you. You just have to reach out and grab that solution and apply it. Express love in the world.